Can the Huskies take out the Mountaineers, or are they all bark and no bite? Stay tuned, I'll let you know what I think. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos, and welcome to another edition of Coos' Corner, your go-to channel for college sports with a heavy dose of these West Virginia Mountaineers. Before I break down the upcoming basketball game between West Virginia and UConn, I want to ask that if you haven't yet, and if you like college sports content almost every single day, hit that red subscribe button for me. Also, if you like this video, give me that thumbs up button. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think the score of this game is going to be, and I'll give you my score prediction at the end. Now let's get on with the show. First, I want to give you the odds of the game. ESPN has UConn at a 50.7% favorite and West Virginia at a 49.3% favorite. So they're expecting this to be a tight game, and Vegas is no different. They have West Virginia at -2. And my guess is that -2 is home court advantage. The game is in Morgantown at 7 p.m. at night, so I'm sure Mountaineer faithful will be there in attendance, and it will be loud. And I'm assuming Vegas is giving West Virginia the 2-point edge for that reason. Otherwise, it's a pick'em game. And then you've got an over-under of 137 for the game. Now let's look at a few key games that each of these teams have played. Both of these teams come in with good records. West Virginia at 7-1, UConn at 8-1 and ranked number 15 in the nation. West Virginia is unranked. But I don't want to go over the whole schedule, but just look at a few key games for each team. First, let's start with the visiting team, the UConn Huskies. They have a double overtime win against Auburn in the battle for Atlantis. That's their only win over a ranked team. And then they turned around the following day and lost by 4 points, 64-60 to Michigan State. So had they not played a double overtime game the day before, would they have lost that game? I'm sure there was probably some fatigue there, having to play the following day, and may not have had their legs under them. But that's the way those tournaments go. They have to play on back-to-back days, just like March Madness. Now, West Virginia's key games. West Virginia does not have as high a quality win as UConn on their schedule. They have played a really good Marquette team, and they did lose that game. But Marquette is sitting at 7-2 right now and is a much better team than people anticipated. West Virginia's best win is over a 5-4 Clemson team. They done that in the Shriners Charleston Classic a couple weeks back. And they did beat Pitt in the backyard brawl rivalry by 20 points, or by almost 20 points. But Pitt is a really bad team right now at 2-6. So that win probably doesn't help them a whole lot at this point. Now let's look at some team stats, which I'll throw up on the screen for you. You've got points per game, UConn 85.9, West Virginia 72.4. Points against, UConn 62.6, West Virginia 63. Field goal percentage, UConn is at 45.2%, West Virginia is at 45.3%, so very close. Rebounds per game, UConn 44.4, West Virginia a measly 32.9. Just not like a Bob Huggins team. Assists per game, you got UConn at 15.9, West Virginia at 12.3. Blocks per game, UConn at 7.7, West Virginia 5.5. Steals, UConn is at 8.6, West Virginia is at 9.6 per game. Obviously, UConn's won 3 in a row, West Virginia's won 4 in a row. And then some team stats that aren't on this list here that I think will play a key role in this game. Both of these teams play high-pressure defenses. UConn is very long. They like to pressure you, play aggressive defense, and they're forcing 17.6 turnovers a game, which is good for 30th in the nation, which 30th is not bad because there's over 300 Division I basketball teams. But then you look at West Virginia, they're forcing 19.8 a game, which is good for 6th in the nation. So their pressure defense has been a little more successful. And then you look at turnovers committed, UConn is committing 12.7 a game, and West Virginia is at 11.4 per game. So neither team turns the ball over a ton, but they will turn it over occasionally. You look at some other stats. UConn holding their opponents to 37.2% shooting, which is good for 16th in the country. However, three-point shooting defense, they're not as good. They're 123rd in the nation, allowing their opponents to shoot 31.2% from three-point range. Now, West Virginia, they're 269th in the nation in field goal percentage defense. They're allowing their opponents to shoot 45% from the court. 3 points, not much better. 34% they're allowing from three-point range. So West Virginia is not defending well as far as defending shots well. They're getting steals, but they're not defending the shots well. And but UConn is not doing that on three-pointers necessarily either, but they are doing a good job defending the two-point shot. Now, team three-point percentage, UConn shoots at about a 37.9% clip from three. West Virginia is only shooting at 30% from three. And we thought coming into this season that was going to be a strength of this West Virginia team. Taz Sherman has been scoring a lot, but he's just not been hitting. He's not been hitting his three-pointers. He's been doing most of his damage inside, mid-range jumpers. And then Sean McNeil has done a little bit better, but even he has not shot the ball as well as we envisioned coming into the year. But there's still room for improvement there. And then you look at assists. This is where this right here, I'll touch on my keys of the game later, but this right here is something I think will be important. UConn has assisted on 63.5% of their field goals made in their last 3 games. That is impressive. That means they pass the ball really, really well and have really good ball movement. Now, in West Virginia, on the other hand, last 3 games have only had assists on 37.6% of their field goals made. So they're relying more on penetration, one-on-one. That's not necessarily a bad thing because Taz is good at that. Taz can score off the dribble and in one-on-one situations. And they've got Malik Curry who can drive the ball to the basket and score doing it that way. Does not necessarily rely on someone else to get him the basketball. So even though that stat doesn't look great offensively for West Virginia, it doesn't necessarily mean they can't score the ball. I'm more concerned about the defensive side for the Mountaineers, as well as UConn passes the ball. And as bad as West Virginia is at playing defense against field goals and against the three-point shot, and we know they're prone to leave guys open in that corner for three, and the way UConn moves the ball, UConn's probably going to get some open threes in this game. Now let's look at some key player stats. Obviously, UConn's leaders on the team, you got R.J. Cole, senior guard, averaging 16.3 points per game on 40% shooting. He's also shooting 37% from three. He also leads the team in assists at 4.4 a game and in steals with 1.7 a game. And even though he's averaging 16.3 a game, the last 5 games he's averaging 20.6 a game. So he's actually doing his damage he's coming on and has been performing better even the last few games. They also have Tyrese Martin, another guard, who's averaging 12.9 points per game and is leading the team in rebounds at 7.7. And then Adam Sanogo, who is averaging 13.9 points per game and 5.6 rebounds per game. So all 3 of those guys are scoring in double digits for the Huskies. Now you look at the Mountaineers, Taz Sherman obviously 21 points a game, leading scorer, only shooting 30% from 3 though. Like I said, that 3 ball's not been falling. But he's shooting 43.6% overall from the floor, which isn't terrible. And then he also leads the team in assists at 3.3 a game. So I think I read that like 29 or 30% of the team's entire offense is running through him right now. Sean McNeil averaging 12 points per game. He's the only other double-digit scorer for West Virginia right now. He's shooting 39.5% from the floor, 34% from three. Then you've got Jalen Bridges, the team's leading rebounder at 5 rebounds a game, also averaging 8.5 points. One key to this game, WVU in their last game, they have a freshman by the name of James Okonkwo who got injured in preseason camp that the team thought might sit out and redshirt. But Huggins has had such a struggle with his inside guy scoring the basketball that he decided to pull Okonkwo's red shirt and play him in the last game against Radford. And he's a very athletic guy. He's a top 100 recruit, I think, or top 150 anyway. A very highly touted kid coming in, and Huggs said he might be the most athletic big on the team. He's had such. And he really needs that inside presence. He needs someone inside that can score the basketball, and Okonkwo might be that guy if he can get adjusted. I don't know how much he'll be able to do in this UConn game since he hasn't had a lot of game experience yet, and this is going to be a really good opponent. But if he can get some minutes in some of these games, it'll really help the team down the stretch and give them another body inside. Now let's look at keys to victory for each team. For UConn's keys to victory, can they handle West Virginia's pressure? We know West Virginia likes to dial up that pressure. They've been doing a lot more on the half-court side. They will play full-court pressure at times, but they rely mainly on half-court pressure. They've been doing good at that this year. Can UConn overcome that West Virginia pressure successfully? Make shots. If UConn can make their shot, UConn's probably going to get a lot of open shots against this West Virginia defense. Can they make them? That's going to be critical. If UConn can knock down their open shots and can shoot at a high percentage, they have a really good chance of winning this game. West Virginia's keys to victory: they need to do a better job rotating on shooters. They cannot give UConn so many open threes, and the way UConn moves the ball, they're going to have to make their rotations quick. The way they like to pressure and double team and trap, it's going to leave guys open. They've got to be quick to rotate and help. Better than they have been. They've got to do a better job rebounding the basketball. As you saw, they're at a huge disadvantage rebounding in this game statistically. They need to step that up. They need to take care of the ball. UConn also plays good defense. Can West Virginia protect the ball on their end? Make shots, once again, that's also going to be critical for West Virginia. They've not done that at a high enough rate this year, especially from three. Can they improve on that in this game? And then they need somebody besides Taz and Sean McNeil to step up and score the basketball. They've only got two guys averaging double figures. They need Jalen Bridges or Isaiah Cottrell. They need somebody that can step up and score the ball. Malik Curry's done that a little bit over the last few games. Is he going to be that third scorer they need? He does most of his damage on penetrating to the basket. Now, he can knock down an open three, but that's not his go-to. His go-to is that penetration with the left hand, and he's very good at that. So maybe he's the third guy, but they need somebody to step up consistently and be a third scorer, because teams are going to start keying on Taz and McNeil and try to take them out of the game. And when they do that, West Virginia's got to have somebody else that can score the basketball. Now, my score prediction. When you look at this game statistically, these teams are fairly even. But when it comes down to it at the end of the day, with UConn's ability to pass the basketball, West Virginia's inefficiencies in rebounding this year, and their inability to make threes consistently, and inability to guard against the three on defense, I think I give UConn a little bit of an edge here. I'm sure the Coliseum is going to be loud. I'm sure it's going to be noisy. I actually am going to be at this game, so I'm really looking forward to watching it. And I'll be glad to come and report to you guys what I see after it's over with. But at the end of the day, I think UConn wins this game. As bad as I hate to say it, I think UConn has an edge here, and I think they end up pulling out a 77-72 victory over the Mountaineers. I think they cover the 2, and they go over, but the teams go over the 137 under number with that 77-72 margin. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about my score prediction? What is your score prediction? Don't forget to drop it in the comments. Once again, if you like my videos and if you like college sports videos almost every day, be sure to subscribe. Please give me the thumbs up if you like the video. Be sure to check out this video right here. I appreciate you tuning in, and until next time.